The impressive heat in Southern California is starting to dissipate as we move from mid-afternoon into early evening here at Angel Stadium as the Mariners get ready to take the field for a Game 3 four-game set with the Angels. Welcome, everybody, to Mariner Baseball. Dave Sims, along with Mike Blowers and the Root Sports Group. So glad to have you with us from Anaheim. Let's take a look at the Mariner batting order that will face the veteran left-hander, C.J. Wilson.
Tonight's starting lineup brought to you by Chevron. Leading off, it will be Austin Jackson. It was good to see Jackson, a couple hits last night, get him on base along with Ackley. Ackley with a double in last night's ball game. Put some pressure on C.J. Wilson with the two guys at the top of the lineup. Then it's Cano, Morales, and Seager in the middle of the lineup. Denorfia hitting sixth, getting to start in right field. Justin Smoke at first base, switch hitter at first, hitting seventh. And it is Taylor and Sucre rounding out the nine for the Mariners. Take a look at C.J. Wilson and what he has done on the year. A 12-game winner so far, but a high ERA, a 4.61 ERA for him in 162 innings. He has 142 strikeouts, but 75 walks. Hopefully that is something the Mariners can take advantage of. Get in some good counts, and also 17 home runs this year he's given up. Take a look at the defense for the Angels. Cowgill getting to start in left field. Trout in center. Calhoun out in right. Freeze at third base. Ibar and Kendrick playing up the middle. C.J. Cron getting his first start of the series at first base. Chris Iannetta will do the catching tonight.
Well, here we go. Christopher John Wilson out of Newport Beach, California, 33 years old, local kid playing for his hometown team at the Loyola Marymount in L.A. First pitch of the ball game. And there for strike, Austin Jackson. Right-handers hitting .283 with 15 home runs against Wilson. Wonderful offensive night last night for the Mariners. Got them to 81 wins. And they're looking at their first plus 500 season since 09 when they went 85-77. And hard, but Howie Kendrick plays it on the hop. One away. Bring up Dustin Ackley. Terrific game for him last night, driving in a couple runs. What a hit parade for the Mariners last evening. 9 men batted in the fifth inning, 11 batted in the sixth.
Dustin hit a double last night, and it looked as if he was running a little bit better. Every day seems to get a little bit better with that ankle.
Coming off that big night, Mike held on to those stirrups.
Hey, you may wear them the rest of the way. You're not going to mess around with that.
Same on the bus and the plane wearing those stirrups.
That's it.
0-2.
Well, he went to the stirrups for a reason, trying to get some hits. He
Amen.
picks up some hits. He's going
That's
to roll them back out there again.
Roger that. 0-2. Bouncing ball. Cron will take it himself. Pujols DHing tonight. 2 away. Nice front page piece on ESPN.com about Robinson Cano, written by Jim Capel, senior writer, one of the good guys, one of our friends, one of our buddies, and talking about Cano's importance to this ball club and how he is probably more valuable to this club than Trout is to the Angel Ball Club. It's nice to see the Mariners get a little national love here. The other thing I heard interesting too, talking to another guy, long time colleague, Bob Nightingale from USA Today, and he said he was participating in a recent poll. He said, who's going to be in the World Series? You know, he said St. Louis and the Seattle Mariners. How about that?
I like it. They have a chance.
Cano bounces out to C.J. Wilson. That'll do it for the Mariners in the first. Interesting to hear those comments. Here comes James Paxton when we get back. James Paxton has impressed a lot of folks around Major League Baseball, and he's in a good spot here tonight to do it again against the Angels, the best team in the game. Let's take a look at the lineup that he'll face this evening.
It has been a hot lineup for manager Mike Scioscia. Leading off, Cole Calhoun, 16 home runs on the year. Then it is Trout with his 34 homers. Albert Pujols, the DH tonight, not playing first base. 333 average as a DH, highest in the American League this year. Then it's Kendrick, Freese, and Ibar, Iannetta, Crone, Cowgill, rounding out the 9 for the Angels. For Paxton on the season, he missed a lot of time because of the injury, but a 6-2 record, a 1.83 ERA, 46 strikeouts in 59 innings. Opponents hitting just .211 against the left-hander. Fastball 95 to 97 miles an hour, 12-6 curveball, and a changeup. He will also use a cutter to the right hand to try to get it in on their hands. I think it will be important for him tonight just to establish his fastball early. In his last outing was trying to throw a few breaking balls early, a few more changeups. Eventually he ended up going to his fastball, and that's when he just started mowing down the hitters. I think he just should start that way tonight. Be aggressive early and then work that curveball and changeup in.
First batter's going to be Cole Calhoun, the right fielder. Strike one to Cole. Ball one to Cole. These two teams throwing haymakers the last two nights. Angels won the first game 8-1. Mariners won last night 13-2. Angels in position to clinch the American League West with a win and a loss by the Athletics.
Good fastball, 95 miles an hour from Paxton. All three pitches so far fastballs. And quickly ahead, 1-2 count on Calhoun.
Mike Scioscia, 15th year manager of these Angels. Dave Hansen, to your right, former hitting coach of the Mariners last season. One and two. Home-plate umpire tonight's Jerry Neal, 17-year veteran, 52 years old, out of Butler, PA. Bob Davidson, Chris Conroy, and Jordan Baker, his partners.
I was down at the hitting cage when the Angels were hitting today, and I've known Mike Scioscia for quite a while, from when I was with the Dodgers, and he came over, and I asked him, I said, "How you doing, Mike?"
There's Cano. Easy play.
He said, "I'm doing all right." I said, "Just all right? What do you mean just all right?" He goes, "We need 2 more wins, 2 more wins." I said, "I think you're going to be okay." You're at least through the door now.
Absolutely.
In his career against the Mariners.
Clinch the playoff spot, trying now to clinch the division. One away, brings up Mike Trout.
Reading one of the papers, too, after they won the game, the first game of the series, and that was able to get them into the postseason.
Mm-hmm.
Not winning the division, but into the postseason. And afterwards, after the press conference, they had the hats out there, and he pushed them all off to the side.
He seemed a little uptight when I talked to him.
Yeah, he's not having any of it. Well, he doesn't want to take anything for granted.
And all I'm concerned about is tonight's game. Hey, right there, almost hit him. Trout en route to an MVP, leads in runs scored at 109. 4th in home runs, 1st in RBIs, 1st in total bases, 3rd in triples, 3rd in slugging. I mean, on and on it goes. He's that good.
A good cut fastball. Trying to get it in on his hands. This will be an interesting matchup. Trout 2 for 4 off of Paxton. And we've talked about it with Paxton. He straight downhill, has a great angle to his fastball, but Trout likes the ball down. So this will be an interesting matchup tonight. There's a good fastball down and on the outside corner. And James is throwing hard tonight. 95, 96 miles an hour with his fastball. We'll take a look at this last pitch. Perfect location.
One out, nobody on, 2-2 here to Trout. Rocket hit foul.
He's thrown all 4-seam fastballs to that last pitch. That was his cut fastball at 90 miles an hour. He was able to get it on the inside corner. It looked like it jammed Trout just a little bit.
Trout leads the league in extra base hits with 81, third in slugging. It's pretty good. 2-2. Trout runner-up in the MVP the last 2 years. Prodigious first 3 years in big leagues. Paxton trying to put him away. 3-2. Strike three called.
Another perfect pitch.
Two outs for a strikeout. James Paxton.
We'll take a look at this last pitch. He goes right back to the outside corner at the knees. I think Trout thought that pitch was down, but you can see in our EQC tracer, 96 miles an hour. Just a perfect pitch from James. Jerry Mills rings him up.
Trout with an OMG there. Couldn't believe it.
As usual, you can see Socho over there barking at Jerry Mills.
As we mentioned, Mike's already uptight. So now that. Keep pounding those fastballs,
that's
big
okay.
fella.
Hey, that's all right.
Keep pounding the fastball. 1 Albert DHing tonight. Easy play for Gary DiSarcina. Alfredo Griffin coaches at first. Felix goes tomorrow against Jared Weaver. 2 number ones. Fearless, you bet. Oh, what a pitch that was. James Paxton, what a start. Strikes out Trout looking, pull hole swinging. To the second inning we go. Three-run homer early in that game off of Chris Sale. The breaking ball. Tuned it up.
I was talking to Aaron Goldsmith when that was going on, and Aaron looked it up real quick, and he said that's the first time this year on an 0-2 pitch that somebody's hit a home run off of him.
Sales having that kind of year.
And that was bad timing for the Mariners.
Kendrys Morales will lead it off here in the second.
Kendrys with good numbers against C.J. Wilson. .435 average with a home run. And hitting right-handed this year has been his better side. So hopefully some good things for the Mariners out of Kendrys tonight.
2 hits, 3 runs scored last night by the big guy. Morales, Seager, and Denorfia 4, 5, and 6. Popped up out of play. C.J. Wilson, a career record in 10 years, 85 and 61, 17 and 7 last year. 17 wins, the most he's had in the big league. Started out as a reliever. We used to see him all the time at Texas. He was a closer. 2010. Went to Ron Washington at the time. Hey, I can help you out closing here.
Well, at that time, he was throwing 95 miles an hour. He doesn't throw as hard anymore now that he's a starter. He'll be 91 to 93 miles an hour.
He had 24 saves in 08, 14 and 09, and then has made the All-Star team in 11 and 12, once with the Rangers, once with the Angels. 2-2 here to Morales. Ground ball to the shortstop, Ibar. Goes over to C.J. Cron, one away. The matchup between these two AL West teams shifts to Safeco Field next Wednesday, or next weekend, I should say, in what's shaping up to be one of the biggest series of the season. Mariners and Angels here at Square X on Friday the 26th. Both teams are playing for October baseball. Be on hand and bring the energy when the Mariners meet the Angels. Get your tickets at Mariners.com. Angels in the playoffs, trying to clinch the division with a win tonight or an Oakland loss. The Mariners trying to get in via the wild card as Kyle Seager takes ball 1. Seager looking to turn things around against C.J. Wilson, just 3 for 28 against him.
It's one of the areas that Kyle has improved on this year, is hitting left-handers. Look at his first couple of years, even though they were productive years, he had some struggles against lefties, but better this year.
Center field, right at Trout. Two away.
He's able to get himself into a good count and put a good swing on it. Just didn't get paid off with it, with a hard line drive out to center field.
Bring up Chris Denorfia getting the start tonight. He's in right field. Entered the game once it became a blowout. Got a walk and run scored and an infield hit and a run scored.
CJ throws all the pitches. Again, his fastball 91 to 93 miles an hour, mixing a curveball, a slider, and a changeup. And he constantly tries to pitch to the edges of the plate.
One pitch. Breaking ball. 1-2. Got him with another bender. C.J. Wilson, first strikeout. He's gone 6 up, 6 down. No score here in Anaheim. Thanks, Tom. Here's Howie Kendrick. James Paxton's first pitch. He does have that good fastball tonight, Mike.
Well, I think the important thing is that he's able to command it. That was a struggle in the first couple of innings of his last outing. Had some command issues, but he's come right out throwing strikes and being aggressive with a really good fastball. That one at 95 again, in on the hands of the right-handers. We know this about Paxton. When he's feeling good about himself, he will pitch inside, and he's already done that. He's able to strike Pujols out on a 97-mile-an-hour fastball in off the plate.
Took something off Cano. Nice snag and a flip for out number one.
They're playing him up the middle, showing some range to his left. Able to get rid of the ball quickly. Makes a lot of plays look routine, but this looked like it was headed into the outfield, but he's able to pick it and then get rid of it quickly. Off balance throw right on the money to Justin Smoke, who's getting the start at first base tonight.
Lloyd McClendon relating a conversation he had with Derek Jeter. He said he really makes it hard to play shortstop because Robinson Cano makes everything look so effortless. Home run to David Freese and a home run 2 nights ago. Freese to be followed by Eric Ibar. Doing one. Broke his bat. Here's Taylor. Nice season throw. 2 outs. Looking forward to the finale. Season finale here in Anaheim tomorrow. Good matchup. Our CenturyLink link to what's next. Felix goes against Jared Weaver. Felix with those outstanding numbers. 14-5, a 2.14 ERA, and opponent's hitting is 2.02.
Well, he still has a good chance to get his ERA under 2. Opponent's average under 200. What a year he is having. Weaver always tough on the Mariners.
We know it. Cano backhand. Paxton very effective through the first 2 innings. You got 3 ground balls here in the second. Here comes the third inning as Cano has a fine inning. James Paxton and C.J. Wilson underway as we go to the third. Most popular way to follow the Mariners' push to the postseason is with MLB.com at bat, the #1 app for live baseball. You can enjoy live look-ins, replay reviews, scores, live radio broadcast, the MLB TV game of the day, and more. Get at bat for your smartphone or tablet from the App Store or by visiting Mariners.com. Justin Smoke, Chris Taylor, Jesus Sucre, bottom third of the order for the Mariners. Big Smokey's going to lead it off. He's a .257 hitter against C.J. Wilson, 9 for 35 with 3 home runs. Justin recalled on September 1st. .361 hitter, 5 homers, 30 runs batted in, 38 games in that last stint in AAA at Tacoma. C.J. Wilson, 1 strikeout so far. One and one. With the win last night, the Mariners go 5-3 here in Anaheim, 8-6 overall against the Angels.
You can see that Justin's had success against CJ, .257 with 3 home runs.
Ibar throws him out. Away.
Just 3 left-handed hitters in the lineup tonight for Lloyd McClendon. Ackley, Cano, and Seager. Trying to get as many right-handers in there as he can. CJ throwing strikes here early in the ball game. Talked about him being wild at times, but 23 pitches, 16 strikes.
Sometimes it's like he's using a fine-tooth comb. He's got to have it down to the centimeter. He's got great stuff, always has. Fly ball right field, Cole Calhoun. Under it. 2 quick outs. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Seattle Mariners and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Seattle Mariners. Brings up Jesus Sucre. th start for Jesus. Mariners are 11-5 when he gets a chance to play in a ball game. He gets a chance to start. Ball 1-1-1. CJ's won his last 2 games, one at Minnesota and beat Houston. Good breaking ball.
He's had a good curveball tonight. We saw that last inning. He started to throw a little bit more, and that was a good curveball at the bottom of the strike zone.
He's won 4 of his last 5 decisions. Dating back to August 12th. Beat Philly, beat Boston, lost to Houston, beat Houston and Minnesota. Here's Iannetta. He'll throw down the first. Now to complete the strikeout. And C.J. Wilson perfect through the first time through the order. Woof. All right, thanks to Tom. Bottom third of the order for the Angels here against James Paxton, Chris Iannetta, C.J. Cron, and Colin Cowgill. Paxton 2 strikeouts in the first 2 innings. Featuring a lively fastball here tonight. Iannetta, 7 homers, 43 runs batted in. Two balls, 1 strike. Iannetta shares some catching duties. And Conger.
Iannetta's had a good year for him this year. 258 with 7 home runs, 43 RBIs. Last year he was stuck in that right around 200 most of the year. Looks like Smoke will have a play on this pop-up.
1 away. Save time and money. Lighting sounder from Lakewood in South Tacoma to Seattle. For schedules, visit soundtransit.org. We'll bring up C.J. Cron, the first baseman. Albert Pujols DHing today.
Cron, 267 with 10 home runs.
Down low for ball 1. Like C.J. Wilson, he too is Christopher John. Two and up. Smoke can't get it. First base runner of the ball game. First hit. James Paxton played his college ball as a Wildcat, University of Kentucky from 07 to 09. So was Colin Cowgill. They were teammates for a year. And they're going to face off here right now. Cowgill coming in with a .261 batting average, 5 homers, and 21 runs batted in. Cowgill playing in his 101st game of the season.
So far for James, just 1 fly ball out. It was a pop-up to first. Everything else on the ground or a strikeout. See if he can get a double play ball right here.
One, 2. Cowgill shortening up on the script. Not seen many guys moving up on the bat handles these days. Ball and 2 strikes.
Good breaking ball from Paxton. Starting to mix his breaking ball in a little bit more. Still seen a couple of changeups from him, but for the most part, he's gone right after him with his fastball. That's a good one tonight, 95 to 97 miles an hour, and done an excellent job of pitching on the inside corner.
2 wins against the Angels. First 2 starts of the season, April 2nd and April 8th. Seager charges, backhand, flips over, and got him. Good play.
That is a difficult play to make. Kyle made it look a lot easier than it was. Typically when the ball is chopped down the line, it has some side spin to it, and it was hit firm enough to where he had to use his glove. Couldn't barehand it, but you can see how quickly he gets rid of it. It all comes down to his feet. Charged it hard at the beginning of it, and then just gathered his feet as he was able to field it and get rid of it quickly. Always makes an accurate throw. Easy play for Smoke over at first, but Crone will get into scoring position.
Second time through the order. Here comes Cole Calhoun. Rounded out to Cano. Oh, speed pitch fouled away. Angels will be in Seattle. Final 3 games of the regular season. Friday the 26th, the 27th is Saturday, and Sunday the 28th. Gray throws down.
Might have had him if it was on the right side of the bag. Good play by Taylor as the ball was back into the runner.
Got the good arm. A real good release, too.
Take a look at it. Big secondary lead. You can see how quickly he came up. If he throws that on the bag, I think he has a chance.
I agree.
Even though he didn't get him, it serves a purpose. Keeps Crone a little bit closer to the base, give the outfielders a chance to throw him out if there is a base hit.
1-1 to Calhoun. 2 outs. Got him to chase.
Good cut fastball. See, next pitch will be 40 for James. Far in good shape with his pitch count.
Took a lot off. Calhoun's at bat stays alive. Elias going back to Seattle for an MRI. Big question mark as to who will pitch Sunday for the Mariners in Houston.
Well, the Mariners have both Walker and Ramirez out in the bullpen. So one thing about September, a lot of bodies.
Oh, man. A lot of guys on deck. 2 outs and a 2-2 pitch with a man at second. Swing and a miss. Calhoun's gone. 3rd strikeout for Paxton as he strands C.J. Crone at second base. Just 1 hit in this ball game. A fine pitching duel through 3. Brought to you by CenturyLink, your link to what's next. And by BNSF Railway, sponsor of the BNSF Blast. Beautiful night here in Anaheim. Weather has cooled off. 85 sounds a heck of a lot better than 101. That's for sure. Don't forget, coming up after the game, the Mariners post-game, presented by Delta Airlines, comes your way. Tonight, game 3 of a 4-game set. C.J. Wilson's been perfect through the first 3 innings. This begins the second time through the order. Austin Jackson, Dustin Ackley, and Robinson Cano.
Time to change, I think, on C.J. Wilson. Looked like the Mariners were trying to be patient for him, but he's throwing a lot of strikes. 28 pitches through the first 3 innings, 20 strikes. Again, at times he can nibble off the edges of the plate and throw a lot of pitches. He doesn't seem to be in that mode tonight, throwing a lot of strikes, especially with his fastball. And there's the first pitch fastball for a strike.
Jackson grounded out to second base to open up the ball game. Chopper down to Freeze. Throws out Jackson. 10 consecutive hitters retired to open the ball game by C.J. Wilson. We'll bring up Dustin Ackley, who grounded out the first. Shows bunt. Takes the ball. So great for the Mariners to end that 3-game losing streak last night. Did it in a very robust way. 13-2 final. Skipper Lloyd McClendon. Like to see that breakout yesterday, and he kept saying going into the game yesterday that, hey, I've been through this before. This team does nothing but rebound all year. Why not now? And they did again in big fashion yesterday. Hit hard, but right to Howie Kendrick. 2 away here in the 4th. Capital One Share Builder with the Seattle Mariners, proud to support and benefit Seattle Children's Hospital with its Saves for Kids program. For each Mariners saved, Capital One Share Builder will donate $1,000 to Seattle Children's Uncompensated Care Program. Capital One Share Builder Incorporated, member FINRA and SIPC. Here's Robinson Cano, comebacker to C.J. Wilson, first time up. Robbie started tonight a .324 career hitter against Wilson.
He has a good count to hit in now. Kyle Seager had a 2-0 count earlier in the ball game back in the 2nd inning. Gave him a fastball in the middle of the plate. Kyle hit it hard, but it was right at the center fielder. See if Cano can get a fastball he can handle right here.
Way upstairs, 3-0. Kendrys Morales on deck. And the Mariners have their first base runner. That ends a run of 11 consecutive hitters retired by C.J. Wilson.
See if Kendrys can get a pitch to hit. Wilson in the stretch now for the first time tonight. unable to pitch out of the windup, so we'll see what Morales can do. Morales grounding out to shortstop his first time up.
Ball one to Kidders. Texas and Oakland, top of the fourth, no score. That's in Oakland. Jeff Samardzija getting the start for the Athletics. There's a strike, 1-1. Outside to Morales, 2-1.
All three pitches just off the plate away. Get some base runners out there, then he starts to get careful. Doesn't want to make a mistake, and we've seen that from C.J. Wilson.
Two-one pitch. Popped it up short right field from Calhoun. Mariners get their first base runner, and that's it. Morales flies out to right. Bottom of the fourth coming up in a scoreless ball game. Ventura went 7 innings, 3 hits, 1 run, 2 walks, and 7 Ks. Sale went 5 innings, 9 hits, 5 runs, all earned. 2 walks and 6 Ks, 2 home runs.
I understand that Aoki, the right fielder for Kansas City, the first left-handed hitter to get 3 hits off of Sale this year.
Here's Mike Trout. Fouls one back. Trout took a called third strike in the first inning. It'll be Trout, Pujols, and Kendrick, 2, 3, 4 in the bottom of the fourth. Worked inside. Mike Trout, as you know, an outstanding start to his career. Ken Griffey Jr. headed to the Hall of Fame. Let's compare them through their first 483 ball games. And Trout is ahead of Junior's pace.
over Junior's next 483 games. Those numbers jumped way up, so
Yes,
we'll see if Trout
did.
can keep pace with Junior over the next 483. And what a start to his career for Mike Trout. A lot of people's favorite to win the MVP.
2-2. Paxton did a great job. Painted fastball on the outside corner to get Trout looking. The second out of the first inning. Followed that up by getting Pujols swinging. Two. Struck him out. He's got Trout twice. Gives him 4 strikeouts for the evening. 1 out here in the 4th.
You mentioned his first strikeout. It was a good four-seam fastball at 97 down and on the outside corner. This time it's a 93-mile-an-hour cut fastball in on his hands. And Trout will swing right over the top of this fastball. Good look at our McDonald's Supermo as you see the cutter getting in on the hands of Trout and jams him up. Perfect location on that pitch.
Good looking breaking ball to Pujols. Strike 1. Off the glove of Sucre, 0-2. Fly ball for DeNorfia. 2 down here in the 4th inning. Lot to like about this Paxton kid, huh?
It's funny as we travel around. Everybody that I talk to, that's exactly what they say. What's going on with this kid? Or we love him. And why wouldn't you? Boy, McClendon was talking about him in spring training. How important he would be to this club.
He was right.
Yeah, they're right. Going down the stretch, he's something.
And I liked what he said when he came back. It's like getting a free agent acquisition. It's like we just got
a really good one.
Yeah.
Kendrick steps in right now. He has his ERA down to a 1.72.
Breaking ball for a strike. Howie didn't like it.
Well, he's starting to get a feel for that breaking ball too, able to throw it for strikes.
Now he grounded out to Cano in his first at bat. Paxton retired the first 7 men that he faced before giving up a base hit to C.J. Crowe.
He just threw that fastball right by him. 98 miles an hour.
Two outs, nobody on, and a 1-2 count to Howie Kendrick. Swing and a miss, struck him out. 5 Ks through 4 for Big James Paxton in this 0-0 ball game. Thank you, Tom. Here's Kyle Seager to lead it off. Looks at strike one. Seager, Denorfia, and Justin Smoke 5, 6, and 7 here in the fifth against C.J. Wilson. C.J. retired the first 11 men that he faced, walked Cano, and then ended the inning, getting Morales to fly out to right. One hit in the ball game. C.J. Cron, one out single in the third. Kyle behind 0-2. A line drive to center field, first time up.
I don't think he was real happy with the first pitch that was thrown to him. It was a fastball, and it was definitely off the plate away, but it was called a strike. CJ was able to come right back with a good breaking ball. His curveball, I think, has been his best pitch tonight.
In tight for ball one. Two and two. Swing and a miss. Third strikeout for C.J. Wilson. One away here in the fifth inning. Non-stop action. Heart-pounding excitement. Historic performances. Do not miss the 2014 postseason beginning September 30th. Mr. Northia, the hitter, struck out on a 1-2 pitch, first time up. Strike one. Chris's first look at C.J. Wilson, Chris spending all of his career in the National League until coming over here to the Mariners. Off the end of the bat down to Freeze. 2 away.
It will be interesting watching the rest of the way out. Obviously, for the wild card, things are pretty tight. We've already mentioned Kansas City already winning tonight. Mariners came in a game behind Kansas City. Just get the feeling that this thing's going to come all the way down to probably the last series for all these clubs of the season, including Oakland, who's just 2 ahead of the Mariners. Mariners, of course, finishing up at home last 3-game series against these Angels.
As we pointed out last week when Bud Selig, the commissioner of baseball, visited Kid Half, and he would be thrilled to see it. Same type of wild, wacky finish on the last day of the year we had a few years ago on a Wednesday. Smoke gets into one.
I like it. He goes up there. He gets on the first fastball and hits it hard into left field.
Mariners' first hit.
Yeah, be aggressive on the fastball early. See if you can make him throw his other pitches for strikes. And Justin, we'll take a look at this swing. And he had 3 home runs on his career against C.J. Wilson, but that's solid line drive. The last series at home is going to be huge, I think.
And the key is continue to take care of business here, Houston, and Toronto.
Well, you have to. We talked about it. The schedule a little bit easier for Kansas City, and one of the advantages that the Mariners had is they were going to play Chicago a couple of different series and get Sale twice. Well, they beat Sale tonight, so
that's huge.
The Mariners are going to have to go out and continue to win.
Taylor 0-1 with Smoke at first. Take a look at Mariners calendar brought to you by Sleep Country USA. This is what remains of the Mariner calendar. One more game tomorrow, wrap up the series here, and then go to Houston for 3 and Toronto for 4. We're coming home for the Angels to wrap up the regular season. 1-1 to Taylor. In the dirt, 2 balls, 1 and strike. 2 balls and a strike.
Angel outfielders playing a little bit deeper right now with Taylor hitting 2 outs. I think they're trying to take the double away. It's a fast outfield. If you can hit a ball in the gap, good chance that it'll get through to the wall.
2-1. Bouncing ball charged by Freeze. Bare hand. Nice play. Mariners are going in the fifth. They do get the first two of the ball game. Justin Smoke with a single. Zeros on the board here in Anaheim. Both teams with just one hit. Paxton, good fastball command tonight.
And I thought a great game plan to start this one out. Came out throwing a lot of fastballs, and he does have a good one. He's topped out at 98 miles an hour. Right there, a good cutter. Started to mix the cutter in. Has a good breaking ball. A few changeups, not many. He's basically stayed with his fastball, and he has pitched inside with some authority tonight. Really has done an excellent job of keeping the Angels off balance as you take a look at what he's done overall. 56 pitches, but through the 4 innings, just one hit. C.J. Wilson surprised me, 53 pitches. I would have never guessed that with him. But he's been on point as well.
Young Paxton showing ace stuff. David Freese leads off. Grounded out the shortstop in his first at bat.
Talked about it so many times with James, but I love the way that he stands out on the mound. The minute the hitter's ready to go, he's coming right back at you. Ground ball out to short.
It's like, yeah, get in there, let's go.
Yep, let's get after it. The hitters can sense that too. I promise you. And then with him throwing 95 to 98 miles an hour with good command, it's just going to be difficult. He works quickly. He knows what he wants to do. He throws the ball with a lot of confidence, along with having great stuff.
Mark Mulder's working the ESPN telecast tonight. He says, he's the second coming of Andy Pettitte, I'm telling you. Throws harder.
Throws much harder.
But the motion, he says, his whole demeanor out there reminds him so much of Pettitte.
He's probably closer to Mark Mulder when Mulder first came to the big leagues with Oakland.
Nice.
Wow. Yeah, Mulder was 95 miles an hour with a good curveball.
Yes, he was. Mark trying to make a comeback this year to blow out an Achilles. He's with the Angels organization. Seager vacuumed that baby up. Quick, 2 outs.
Yeah, another ground ball out. Only 2 outs recorded in the air so far. A pop up to first and a fly ball to right. That's it. Everything else on the ground are strikeouts.
Let's take a look at our Delta Airlines. Keep climbing wild card standings. There you go. Kansas City a winner tonight. Mariners got to keep pace. Yankees were winners earlier against Tampa Bay. Cleveland won at Houston 2-0. Chris Iannetta fouled out to Smoke. Good looking breaking ball. 0-2. Five strikeouts, no walks, no runs on one hit. Paxton here in the fifth with 2 outs and a 1-2 count to Chris Iannetta.
Good pitch. Breaking ball right at the bottom of the strike zone.
Two and two. Hey, struck him out. Sucre knew it. He was headed for the dugout before Jerry Mills raised his right hand. Strikeout number 6, a 1-2-3 fifth for Big Pax. All right, Tom, we got a heck of a pitching duel here tonight. 2 outstanding left-handers, James Paxton and C.J. Wilson. Jesus Sucre going to lead it off. The Mariner catcher batting in a 9-hole, then Austin Jackson and Dustin Ackley. C.J. with 3 strikeouts, 1 walk, giving up 1 hit.
It's one of the few times he started a hitter off with a breaking ball. Missed with that curve ball, 77 miles an hour.
Jesus a strikeout victim, ending the 3rd inning. CJ retired the first 11 men that he faced, walked Robinson Cano, then ended the inning with Morales flying out. Gave up a 2-out single in the 5th to Justin Smoke. Pulled the string. Ball and 2 strikes. Got a piece of it.
And another good curveball from C.J. Wilson. Doing a good job of keeping the ball down, either at the bottom of the strike zone or in the dirt.
One and 2. Strike 3 called, got him. Strikeout number 4. One away here in the 6th. Let's take a look. Boy, 1968 year of the pitch. This date, Geico, this date in MLB history. Hall of Famer Gaylord Perry with the Giants. No hits the Cardinals. Then the next day, Ray Washburn, if I remember correctly, really good right-hander, no hit the Giants. Cardinals are en route to winning the National League pennant back-to-back years. Went on to lose to the Tigers in 7. They'd beaten the Red Sox in 7 the year before. Here's Austin Jackson.
See if the Mariners can get some of the speed on the bases, make some things happen. It looks like it's going to be difficult to put some hits together in an inning with the way both these left-handers are going tonight.
So, how's your bunting skills?
Hey.
If you get somebody on, you're going to have to move them up. Or just somebody in blue hit one end of the yard. How about that? 2-1. CJ's given up 2 home runs to left-hand hitting, 15 to right-handers. Trout is on the scene. 2 outs.
Left fielder, number 13,
We have Justin Ackley. A couple of ground outs tonight, 0 for 2. One to Dustin.
CJ in great shape with his pitch count. Just 63 pitches with 2 outs here in the 6th inning.
Ackley. He went right after.
Good fastball just above the strike zone. An aggressive swing from Dustin. Literally tried to hit that one out of the ballpark. Well, with 2 outs, why not take a shot at it? Go back to hitting now.
2 strikes. 2 outs here in the 6th. Got it. Strikeout number 5 for C.J. Wilson. Paxton has 6. Both guys dominating here in Anaheim. Back with more right after this. And Tom, thank you. Right there, here's C.J. Cron to lead it off. Cron, Calgill, and Calhoun, 8-9-1. Broken bat. Let's see, the bat went farther than the ball did. One away as Seager throws out C.J. Cron.
And another ground ball out. He saws that bat in half. Good fastball, 96 miles an hour, right in on his hands.
We say when see guys like this pitching this way, buckle up.
Buckle up. I was thinking about it too for the Mariners and the infielders tonight. Seager at third, Taylor out at shortstop, Cano at second, Smoke at first. When he's pitching, you know you're going to get some work. He throws a lot of ground ball outs. Keeps you involved in the game.
Calgill
does one of the other things that you and I both appreciate, and that is he works fast. He gets the ball, he's ready to go.
Boom!
Yeah, gets after it.
Thank you very much. Two away. Wrap up this series tomorrow. Say goodbye to Anaheim with a doozy. Felix at Jared Weaver. CenturyLink linked to what's next. The two aces of these staffs. Seem like they have faced off a lot over the course of their careers. And both are formidable. They faced off 11 times already in their careers. Yeah, happy Felix Day on Thursday. Quick 2 outs. Cole Calhoun did not go. They check down to Jordan Baker, third base umpire. Paxton's retired the last 10 men. It was up. That's the second base hit.
Both base hits, ground balls. Cron hit a ground ball through the right side of the infield. 97-mile-an-hour fastball, bottom of the strike zone, was not hit hard right off the end of the bat. But he finds a hole. Cano playing him to pull. You can't even see him in the picture. That'll bring up Mike Trout. A couple of strikeouts for him, one looking, one swinging.
Good matchup here. Went to a 3-2 count in both at bats. Breaking ball for strike. What's he come back with? He's ahead 0-2.
Last time that he was ahead of him, he threw a cutter in under his hands, and he tried to pitch him inside in his first at bat, was eventually able to get a strikeout with a fastball in the outside corner and down. So I would not be surprised after that fastball away for him to bury a curveball or throw that cutter back in on his hands.
0-2 to Trout, men aboard. Keep Calhoun close. Big pitch here to Trout, 0-2.
With a good fastball back inside.
Straight away in deep for Trout. Big pitch here at 1-2. Up high. Ball 2-2-2.
We were talking about it during Trout's first at bat that he likes the ball down. He tried to elevate a couple of fastballs, try to hit that top of the strike zone, but missed with both of them.
Two pitch. Did he go? Check down at first. Johnny Neal said, nope, I'm going to have to go to Bob Davidson, so the count has run full. Calhoun's got good wheels at first. 2 outs. Trout steps away. Paxton ready. Calhoun takes off. Pitch, breaking ball, strike 3 called. He got him. Big Pax with another strikeout. He ends the inning, striking out Trout for the 3rd time, 2nd time looking. What a big K. To the 7th we go, scoreless. On Root Sports, being brought to you by BECU, offering convenient access to online and mobile banking. Get info and join at becu.org. By Pizza Hut, make it great. And by Seattle City Light. Visit seattle.gov/repower for more information. Glad you've tuned in. We have a pitching duel deluxe here as we go to the 7th. Young James Paxton has been sterling, so has C.J. Wilson. And here's Paxton getting Mike Trout for the 3rd time tonight, Mike.
Yeah, you can see the knuckle curveball from Paxton. Great look at our McDonald's Supermo on a 3-2 pitch. Throws the curveball in there and locks him up. Interesting tonight, he's only had 3 3-ball counts tonight. All 3 of them going to Trout. All 3 of them strikeouts for Paxton, including that curveball.
Sensational performance through 6 for Paxton with 7 strikeouts.
Middle of the lineup now for the Mariners. It'll be Cano, Morales, and Seager due up.
Paxton with 9 ground ball outs here tonight. Strike to Rabbit, didn't like that call. 0-2. Rabbit's tap back to Wilson and walked. Here's the 0-2. Mariners have had 2 base runners. Cano walk in the 4th. Smoke 2-out single in the 5th.
Same for the Angels, just 2 base runners, a couple of singles, ground ball singles for the Angels tonight.
J.J. Cron in the 3rd inning. And in 6th inning, 2-out single by Cole Calhoun. A's just went up 1-0. All 2 strikes. Not often you see this, Mike. Nothing into the 7th.
No, not in the American League. I think this is as good as we've seen C.J. Wilson in a few years.
Without question.
Throwing a lot of strikes, 70 pitches, 45 strikes for him.
Key phrase, throwing a lot of strikes.
Especially with his fastball, and they're quality strikes. He's been on the corners tonight. Typically tries to pitch off the plate. We've seen a little bit of that after Smoke had the base hit, but otherwise he's been pretty aggressive.
2-2 to Cano. Robbie entering tonight a .324 hitter against C.J. Wilson. 0 for 1 tonight. Full count.
Good job working the count full after going down 0-2. Kendrys Morales waiting on deck.
Payoff to Cano. Look out, Rich Donlin. 3rd base coach extraordinaire. Chris Woodward at first. Three-two pitch.
Trying to get him with the curveball, 78 miles an hour, and it was right in the middle of the plate. Cano out in front of it just a little bit, cued it off the end. Eight pitches in this at bat, but just 74 pitches overall for Wilson. Again, still in great shape pitching here in the 7th with his pitch count.
2 3-ball counts, both to Cano. Walked him on 4 pitches in the 4th inning. Battling here in the 7th pitch. Fouled off again. Mike Scioscia's team needs a win and an Oakland loss to clinch the division. Pitch. Fouled off.
What a battle. 10 pitches in this at bat. That last one, a good fastball at 93 miles an hour in the middle of the plate.
comes pitch number 11. Strike 3 called. No protest for by Cano. That's strikeout number 6 for C.J. Wilson. One away here in the 7th.
After a couple of fastballs, I think he thought he was going to come back with the breaking ball, but it's another fastball at 92. Outer half of the plate. Take a look at our McDonald's Supermo and the 4-seam fastball from C.J. Wilson. Again, he's had really good command of his fastball tonight.
Strike 1 to Morales is 0 for 2. Ground out to short, fly ball to right. Wilson struck out 6, walked 1, and given up just 1 hit. Two balls, 1 strike. Front 2-2.
He hasn't thrown many change jumps, but the ones that he has thrown have been good ones. That one again on the corner.
Two pitch. Count runs full. Kyle Seager's on deck. Two in the dirt. Mariners have another base run. The 3rd of the night. 2nd walk by C.J. Wilson. When you bring your whole family to Safeco Field, make sure you visit the Moose Den, presented by Seattle Children's. There you're going to be able to meet the Mariner Moose throughout the game and get a picture with the best mascot in baseball.
You're going to have a pinch runner. James Jones coming out of the dugout to pinch run for Morales with 1 out. I think sometimes you think maybe a little bit early, but with the Mariners having a tough time getting base runners, period, in this one, trying to get some speed out there, pick up a run, especially with the way Paxton's been throwing tonight. Trout in center field, shading towards right. Cowgill playing deep in right field.
We'll see Jones have success late innings. Had a couple of games where he's stolen 2nd and 3rd.
Well, the one advantage that the Angels have here is it is a left-handed pitcher on the mound, so a little more difficult for James. And CJ going right to the slide step and able to throw a breaking ball over first strike. One of the ways that pitchers will try to hold the runner or at least help their catcher out. Instead of that high leg kick, they'll just glide towards home. Get rid of the ball a little bit quicker.
Jones back with a dive.
CJ with the first couple of throws over to first. It looks as Jones was able to see it easily. He might be able to get another half step. He already gets a big lead, but he might be able to cheat and get a little more. I think if he tries to steal it, he's going to go on first move. Not even worry about reading it, just try to guess right. Now another slide step. Both times he's thrown a breaking ball from the slide step.
Kyle in an 0-2 hole.
Well located, right on the outside corner, both of them.
Nineteen pitches here in the 7th.
11 of them to Cano.
Kyle goes down swinging. 2nd time he's K'd. That's 7 strikeouts on the evening. C.J. Wilson 2 away.
Bring up Chris DeNorfia. Take a look at it. Stayed with the off-speed pitch. All 3 pitches, breaking balls. This one 83 miles an hour. Middle of the plate, but down. Kyle out in front of it. Never able to get that fastball he was looking for.
Jones takes off. Great jump. Throw down to second. Safe. Stolen base, James Jones.
Yeah, we've said it before. Here comes Sosha. He's going to ask him to take a look at it. But James does a lot of things right. He's not just a fast runner. He knows how to steal, and he picks an off-speed pitch, 76 miles an hour, which he typically does.
Second base umpire, Chris Conroy.
I think maybe it was the bounce right here. The ball, he'll glove will come back up to get the bounce, and we'll see if James can get his hand in there before the tag, and he's safe.
He's safe.
Sosha quickly back off the field. He is not going to challenge this one, and here it is again. So many times when you bounce it, the fielder will bring that glove up, and that's the difference. But James Jones able to get himself into scoring position. We talked about it with James. He's somebody that can make a difference for this club just coming off the bench late in games. And for the Mariners, this will be their first time to hit with a runner in scoring position. The Eagles had a runner at second back in the third inning. Paxton was able to get out of it.
26 out of 27. Hey now.
No, and he steals, and lately, since he's been recalled, he's stealing late in the game when
There
everybody
you go.
knows he's probably going to go at some point.
There you go.
But he does an excellent job of picking his spots.
Reminiscent of Herb Washington with the 74-75 Oakland Athletics. Herb, their designated runner, went 29 for 45 in 1974. And Jonesy's percentage is a heck of a lot better.
I can't even remember when he was caught. That's how good he has been.
Curtis Wilson and the boys will look it up. I'm not remembering it either.
Good count now for Denorfia. 2-0. He's missed with a couple of breaking balls to Denorfia.
A lot of room out there.
And he missed with that one. That's a little more like what we were talking about with CJ. Runners get on base. He has a tendency to try to pitch off the plate, throw more breaking balls. All three breaking balls to Denorfia. Justin Smoke waiting on deck. Smoke with a base hit his last time up.
There's a strike. So James Jones at 96.3% stolen base efficiency, second this century. Carlos Beltran in 2001 went 31 of 32. 3-1 count here for Denorfia. And he's aboard with a walk. First and second, 2 outs for Justin Smoke, who has the Mariners' only hit, and he's got 3 career home runs against C.J. Wilson.
We saw this last night in the 5th inning with the Mariners. A walk, a hit batter. They had a sacrifice, but that's when they really opened up the game. So hopefully with a couple of walks after Wilson has been so good in this one tonight, couple of walks in this inning, see if the Mariners could take advantage of it. Again, Smoke a solid line drive base hit into left center field his last time up. He was aggressive. He jumped on a first pitch fastball. Staying with the off-speed pitches. And he was in great shape with his pitch count, but now up to 92 pitches.
Justin Smoke. Last time he went yard, May 27th.
And he has hit 3 home runs off of C.J. Wilson in his career. Another off-speed pitch. Staying with the curveball. Occasional changeup, but not many fastballs.
Mariners' best scoring threat tonight. 1-1 pitch. Takes ball 2.
And another curveball. It's amazing. He's had such good command of his fastball, but ever since the walk to Morales, he has completely gotten away from it. Nothing but breaking balls and changeups. So if he can leave one up in the zone, Smoke can handle.
Smoke's got 7 homers, 30 runs batted in. 2 home runs right-handed, 13 runs batted in. Two one pitch to Smoke. 2 on, 2 out.
That was the one. Breaking ball up in the zone.
Here comes Calhoun. He's there. And the Mariners are turned away in the 7th. No runs, no hits, no errors. 2 left. Home 7th coming up. No score here in Anaheim. All right, Tom, thank you very much. Earlier we had a trivia question of this date in baseball history about back-to-back no-hitters from the year of the pitcher, 1968. This game would have fit in 1968. These guys are dealing. Paxton and C.J. Wilson. C.J. got a little bit off kilter in the 7th inning and survived. Here's Pujols leading off the home 7th. Popped it up. Smoke might have a play. He's under it. He does have a play. 1 out. Big out, too.
Well, the good news for the Mariners is it took C.J. Wilson a lot of pitches to get through that last inning. He is now up to 95 pitches. The Angels had their bullpen up and throwing, but they've sat him back down. His high on the season is 127.
Howie Kendrick 0 for 2, ground out and strikeout.
curious to see how far Mike Scioscia will let him go with the Angels on the brink of winning the division. Magic number again is 2 at the start of this one tonight.
Corey Rasmus started last night, 4 innings. We were wondering, and he was pitching a heck of a ball game, why he was taken out of the game. I was talking to Scioscia before the game. He said he stumbled coming down the steps. He was so tired after the 4th inning. 4 innings before that. So he had to get out. He was done. Oh, 2 here to Kendrick.
All I would say is that was good news for the Mariners because they had just 1 hit off of him through 4.
You're right. That middle part of the bullpen wore them out. One out, nobody on, 0-2 pitch.
James still has a good fastball. 85 pitches, but he's 96 to 98 tonight.
Two. Based on what we're seeing here tonight, and what we see pretty much every time Paxton goes out, I don't think you want to be playing any poker with this guy either.
No, you're not going to be able to read him, that's for sure. Never changes.
This with the fastball, full count. David Freese is on deck. Paxton's ERA at the moment, 1.65. Shoots through the hole. Howie Kendrick going opposite field. Just the 3rd hit tonight for the Angels. Of David Freese. Mariners postseason hunt. It continues, and you can get in on the potential October action at Safeco Field with a special Mariners Mail postseason ticket pre-sale. Visit mariners.com/mail by Monday the 22nd at noon and register for Mariners Mail for a pre-sale opportunity to buy playoff tickets. That web address again to register for the postseason ticket pre-sale is mariners.com/mail.
I'll bring up David Freese. Freese tonight, a couple of ground outs to short. James will take a ground ball to shortstop right now and get a double play and get off the field. Next pitch will be 90 for him.
Field to Northfield. Oh, it gets by him. Howie Kendrick flying to 3rd, getting a big wave on. He's going to score. It's 1-0 Angels. That is one tough break.
For DeNorfie, I think he thought he was going to be able to make the catch. Wasn't able to get there, tried to pull up, wasn't able to get his body in front of it. I think maybe he was trying to keep Kendrick from going to 3rd with 1 out, trying to charge it. He has a strong throwing arm out in right field, and you can see him coming in right about there. And then he's in no man's land, caught in between, wasn't able to get his body in front of it. And that'll bring out Lloyd McClendon. Going to talk to James Paxton. Tony Campana has come on to pinch run for Freese. He is out at 2nd. We've seen him in this series. He can really fly. Lloyd McClendon is not taking James out. He's just having a conversation with him. You see a play like that, he wants to make sure that James is in good shape. Let's get out of this inning with just the 1 run.
Single E9. Oh, that would hurt. They're going to have to pick him up.
No RBI on the play.
Correct.
Danny Farquhar just starting to get loose in the pen. We'll have to keep an eye on Campana.
Very fast runner.
Can't win a pinch run.
Tough customer. Here, Eric Ibar. So great with a nice block. Ball one. One out, a run in, a runner at second. One out. Action in that Mariner bullpen. Parr, and Furbush. Two and 0. Big pitch here, 2-0. Ball three.
And they're going to put him on now. Chris Iannetta is due up the catcher for the Angels tonight. We'll see if Lloyd McClendon leaves Paxton out there. Paxton now at 94 pitches.
First walk of the evening. Paxton. There's a big lefty in there. Iannetta fouled out to Smoke and took a called third strike. Two on, one out. Strike one. One, two. Paxton tonight with 7 strikeouts, 1 walk. It was intentional here in the 7th. Couple runners aboard. Campana and Ibar plus speed.
Just missed the inside corner. Still has a good fastball. And one of the things that Lloyd is doing is he's trusting the young left-hander. He had a game earlier where he threw 118 pitches, and James looked like he barely broke a sweat. Said he felt good and could have gone another inning. 97 pitches now.
1-2 to Iannetta. Breaking ball hit foul. Into the ball boy.
Good changeup from James.
Adding Ritchie.
The other part about it, too, is if you bring the right-handed reliever in, you have Hamilton and Navarro on the bench. And Lloyd decided he's going to go with James Paxton against the right-handed hitting Iannetta. Keep the lefties on the bench for now.
1-0 Angels here in the bottom of the 7th. 1-2 pitch to Iannetta. Good foul.
97 miles an hour on that last fastball, his 100th pitch of the ball game.
Looking for a ground ball, double play ground ball. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Did he go? Did not, as they check with Bob Davidson at the first base. 2-2. comes the 2-2.
And a good battle. 8 pitches now to Iannetta.
Cano had an 11-pitch at bat, leading off the 7th against C.J. Wilson. C.J. struck him out looking. Two and two. Strike 3 called. Got him. Strikeout number 8. 2 outs here in the 7th inning.
Just a perfect pitch. Comes right back with a fastball in the inside corner at 95 miles an hour, and that's going to be it for James Paxton. Lloyd McClendon out of the dugout. We'll take another look at it in our McDonald's Supermo. And the big left-hander reaching back for his last good fastball of the night. 4-seamer right on the inside corner.
Outstanding performance by James Paxton tonight. 8 strikeouts, 1 walk, a run on 4 hits. Danny Farquhar will take over. Tough break. James Paxton, what a night. Tough way to end it. Paxton going 6 2/3 with 4 hits, a run, a walk, and 8 Ks. That walk was intentional. C.J. Cron facing Danny Farquhar.
Danny with a good fastball, 94, 95 miles an hour. He'll throw a cutter at 89, 90. Missed with that cutter on the first pitch to Crone. 12-6 curveball and a changeup. And his numbers on the year, a 2.33 ERA, 73 strikeouts and 65 2/3, and that's what Lloyd McClendon is looking for right now.
2 outs and 2 on. Back with a strike, 1-1. deep drive, left center field, a lot of carry. It is gone. 3-run homer. C.J. Cron. His 11th, and that's his RBI total of 35, and they have just blown it open here.
Base hit with a runner in scoring position, and this one hurt. Trying to go away. It was the cutter. Tried to go away with the cutter left at middle in. And Cron with his 11th home run on the year, a towering home run out to the Rocks.
A 1-1 pitch. Cron rides it out of here. 4-0 lead now for the Angels, who can clinch the American League West tonight. To win in an Oakland loss.
Take another look at this last pitch. Again, the cutter in our McDonald's Supermo. Trying to go away. You can see Sucre set up away and ended up on the inner half.
Calgill, the 7th player, 7th man to bat here in the 7th inning. Going to have to battle back. 3-1. C.J. Cron with his 11th home run. The 3-1 pitch. Chopped out.
Close the book on James Paxton, and he pitched so much better. 6 2/3, 4 hits, 3 runs, all of them earned, a walk, 8 strikeouts. For those that didn't watch this one, they see it in the morning. It's not going to do him justice. He pitched much better than that.
Yeah, that line doesn't tell the story, no question. 3-2. A walk. I thought he had a strikeout. Calgill's aboard with a walk. Back to the top of the order, Cole Calhoun. He'll be the 8th man to swing a bat here in the 7th. A's lead the Rangers 1-0, bottom 7 in Oakland. Hammered down the line, fair. Calgill coming around, scoring easily. 5-0. Ball gets away, easing down to third is Cole Calhoun.
Take a look at it again. It's another cut fastball. This one at 90 miles an hour, and it looks like it's right on the inside corner. Again, you can see Sucre having to reach back across the plate, trying to get it to the outside corner. Danny pulls across it a little bit, ends up on the inner half, and he hits it hard down into the corner. Calgill with good speed, able to score easily, and Lloyd McClendon out of the dugout.
So a double RBI. Aaron Cano allowing Paul Calhoun to get to third. Lloyd McClendon comes to get Danny Farquhar, and this one has gotten away from the Mariners. 5-0 Angels. Baseball on Root Sports is brought to you by Geico. 15 minutes can save you 15% or more on car insurance. By Money Tree, proud to make a donation to Mariners Care for every Mariners win. By American Family Insurance, your dream is out there. Go get it. Find out more at amfam.com/dreams. And by Mitsubishi, who invites you to find your own lane. This has been a brutal inning for the Mariners. 8 men to the plate so far. 4 runs, 4 hits, 2 errors. Make that 5 runs. Man, oh man, this has been tough.
Dominic Leone going to take over for the Mariners. Hard throwing right-hander. Dominic's fastball 95 will also use a hard slider. And his first batter will be Mike Trout. He has his work cut out for him with a runner at third.
5 runs on 4 hits and 2 errors.
For Dominic on the year, a 2.20 ERA, 65 strikeouts and 61 in the third. Opponents hitting just 216 against him.
C.J. Wilson has had 1 long rest. Ninth man to the plate is Mike Trout.
I don't think C.J. is coming back out. Joe Smith, the veteran right-hander, is getting loose in the pen for the Angels. C.J. up over 100 pitches now.
Got a 24-minute inning. Breaking ball to Trout for strike. Struck out 3 times at the hands of James Paxton. Joe Smith will have 8, 9, and 1 coming up for the Mariners. Great save by Sucre. 1-1. Two outs and a man at third. Look out.
Good slider right out the end of the bat. See, Mike has that cup bat, hollow out the end of it. The guys will do that for some balance, and he hits it right out the end. I'm sure that ruined a perfectly good baseball.
1-2. Struck him out. Golden sombrero for Mike Trout, but damaged plenty of it. 5 runs, 4 hits, 2 errors, a man left. It's all Angels. We head to the 8th. lead as we get ready for the top of the 8th inning. Make your voice heard. Nominate your favorite plays of the week by tweeting us using the hashtag RootFanFave. Watch the Mariners pregame show every Sunday to find out the top 5 fan favorite plays of the week. Official rules, visit rootsports.com. C.J. Wilson, the starter for the Angels, is what he did tonight.
Threw the ball well, was aggressive with his fastball early in the game, started to use his breaking ball, but 7 innings, just 1 hit, 3 walks, 7 strikeouts, 95 pitches for CJ.
Time now for our Chase Cole to the bullpen and brings out the veteran Joe Smith.
And Joe has pitched really well. He's the 8th inning guy for the Angels this year. 7-2 record, 1.92 ERA. He also has 15 saves on the year. 70 innings pitched, 65 strikeouts. Opponents hitting just 175 off the side armor. Efrain Navarro will take over at first base.
John McDonald at third. Chris Taylor, Jesus Sucre, and Austin Jackson here for the Mariners in the top of the 8th. One pitch. 0-2, Joe Smith. A couple of years with the New York Mets, 5 with Cleveland. His first year with the Angels.
Submarine style pitcher. Run that 2-seamer in on the right-handers. Also mix in a slider.
Just fouling it back. Chris Taylor tonight. Fly to right, ground out to third. Third career 4 strikeout night for Trout. And all of them this season. So that goes. Rob Davidson will have home plate tomorrow. Charging is Ibar. Nice play. 1 out.
Pitcher number 2,
Here's Sucre. He struck out swinging and looking here tonight, 0 for 2. Way out front. Another breaking ball.
A couple of sliders right on the outside corner.
Strike 3 call, getting lucky. Third time Sucre's Cade tonight, second time looking. Take a look at our Columbia Bank difference in the game. Mr. Wilson did well.
I think it's one of the best outings we've seen him pitch over the years. He was in command of everything. Had a good fastball early, then he started to break out his curveball and slider. Change-ups from him, but his fastball command was really good tonight. He had the Mariners tied up, giving up just 1 hit.
And hit a 2-out single in the 5th by Justin Smoke. After the order, here's Austin Jackson, 0 for 3. Got Ionetta right in the mask, 0-2. Pretty good combo. 8th inning, Joe Smith, Houston Street in the 9th. Not bad. All right, 3 called. 3 Mules behind the plate. 1-2-3 inning for Joe Smith. Bottom of the 8th coming up, 5-0 Angels. He's probably a great dude to hang out with. Thank you, Tom. Bottom of the 8th. Albert Pujols will lead off against Dominic Leone. 7th inning explosion by the Angels. 9 men to the plate, 5 runs on 4 hits. Mariners committed 2 errors. 3-run homer by C.J. Cron. RBI double by Cole Calhoun. Another run scored on an error by right fielder Chris Norfield. This one popped up foul.
Well, last night it was the Mariners that took advantage of some mistakes, and tonight it was the Angels.
Swing and a miss. Good pitch by Leone, striking out Albert Pujols.
Good slider from Dominic Leone. Gets ahead of him and throws this pitch off the plate away. Weak wave from Albert.
Here's Howie Kendrick. Now we scored the first run of the game. He had a 1-out single to right. Freeze single to right field, misplayed by DeNorfie, and Howie came around to score to make it 1-0. 2 strikes. Good pitch. Howie's gone. 2 outs. So Dominic Leone struck out all 3 men that he's faced. Trout, Pujols, and Kendrick. 2 outs here in the 8th. And that brings up Navarro. After Navarro. Navarro took over at first base for C.J. Crone. Looking back, up the middle, Taylor, strong throw to retire. Dominic Leone, a nice stint for him, retiring all 4 men that he faced, striking out 3. It's 5-0. Mariners have to deal with Houston Street here in the 9th. Angels, top of the 9th as we check out our Seattle City Light power play. C.J. Crone. A couple of men aboard in the 7th.
Yeah, it was a 1-run game, 1-0, and Crone, it's like a cut fastball in the inside corner, and he hits it out to the rocks, a 3-run homer. His 11th home run on the year. Houston Street going to take over. 14 saves and 16 opportunities. He's pitched well, a 1.64 ERA in 22 innings. He has 18 strikeouts, only 6 walks. Has not given up a home run. Opponents hitting .250. He will get Ackley, Cano, and Jones due up here in the 9th inning. So I guess what Mike Scioscia was talking about earlier today, he's serious. He has his closer in there with a 5-run lead.
An Angels win and an Athletics loss. They clinched the American League West tonight. There's Don Baylor in the back, the hitting coach. Here's a pop-up. McDonald for the first out.
Second baseman, number 22, Robinson Cano.
C.J. Wilson, a couple of outs away from his 13th win of the season and his 15th career win against the Mariners.
Robinson Cano will step in. He is 0 for 2 tonight. Also had a walk back in the 4th inning.
Street with 38 saves on the season, 14 with the Angels. Previous best 37 with the 06 A's. Came over from San Diego on July 18th. Navarro's got it, puts the Streets down.
It'll be up to James Jones. Came on as a pinch runner. Back in the 7th inning, was able to steal a base, get into scoring position. At that time, it was a 0-0 ball game. He was ended up being stranded at second, so he'll get his first plate appearance of the night.
Street's been a quietly effective, outstanding closer in his career. And James is behind 0-2. A.J. Cron with a big blow to make it 4-0 in the 7th inning. The Angels sent 9 men to the plate, scored 5 times on 4 hits. Here's the 0-2 to Jones. Struck him out. That's the ball game. The Angels are a step closer to clinching the American League West. They come up with a 5-0 victory, exploding for 5 runs in the 7th inning. It's the 20th time, all time, that the Mariners have been one hit, and the 3rd time in this 2014 season.
Also the 18th time this year that they have been shut out. What a shame for James Paxton. Really pitched well in this one. You look at his line, 6 2/3, 3 earned runs. He was much better than that. Gave up just 4 hits, 1 walk in tonight's game. And Dave, again, a few mistakes here and there, especially against a hot team like the Angels, that'll end up costing you, and that's what happened for the Mariners back in the 7th inning.
Absolutely. 2 hours and 37 minutes. C.J. Wilson gets a win, his 13th win against 9 losses, 15-8 career against the Mariners. Tough one tonight, 5-0 Angels. Let's join Tom Glasgow and Dave Valley at the Ford Sports Desk. Fellas?